Hey everybody, it's X, and welcome back to more Magic Arena. Today we've got Omniscience Draft. It is back again, once again with the Core Set 2020 format. A little weird they didn't choose Eldraine, but it's probably because with adventures and stuff, it would be kind of crazy, a little hard to program all that stuff. I don't know. I don't know for sure. Maybe there's just way too many combos and stuff. Who knows? Either way, it's more Omniscience Draft, more Yu-Gi-Oh! Crazy, combo-y, solitary type of gameplay. And let's just jump into it and see how well we do. So, this pack has basically the literal best card for Omniscience Draft in it. We've got Scholar of the Ages, and this card is incredible because the strongest cards in Omniscience Draft are cards that draw cards, and those are almost always instants and sorceries. Cards like Anticipate, that say look at the top three and draw one of them. Winged Words, that just say like draw two cards. Cards like that are incredibly strong, so you're going to have a lot of those in your deck, and Scholar of the Ages allows you to pick two of them back up from your grave and recast them. Now that's already incredible, and on top of that, there are a lot of infinite combos with Scholar of the Ages, because Omniscience Draft is the format where everything is completely free. So because you can cast this for 0 mana, if you have Unsummon, which is return target creature to its owner's hand, you could cast Unsummon for 0, which means you could play Scholar of the Ages, unsummon your Scholar of the Ages, and then play Scholar of the Ages again to return your Unsummon and another instant or sorcery from your graveyard back to your hand. So with Unsummon and any instant or sorcery that says draw a card, period, you get to loop through your entire deck. So there's lots of combos with Scholar of the Ages. That's not the only one. There's also Barter and Bud in Blood? Actually, no, it's called Blood for Bones. I get mixed up with those card names a lot. With Blood for Bones, you get to sack a creature, return a creature from your grave to the battlefield, and one from your grave to your hand. Another infinite combo with Scholar, because you sack the Scholar, bring the Scholar back, use the Scholar to bring back your Blood for Bones, and you can loop that indefinitely, as well as returning every other creature from your grave to your hand. And again, if you have anything that draws a card, you can loop through your entire deck that way. So, Scholar of the Ages, very easily the first pick here. So now we have Tomebound Lich, which does draw a card. We do have to discard a card after we draw one, but because your decks are 40-card decks and there's 15 cards per pack, you're going to have to take 45 cards total. You can only cut 5, and then you're at the minimum deck limit, so you're going to have at least some cards in your deck that just suck, so you'll usually have something that you're totally fine with discarding, just to get another opportunity to draw into something good. So Tomebound Lich, actually a pretty strong card in this format, and as it is the only card in this pack that can draw a card, it is definitely the pick. What do we have now? Vampire of the Dire Moon, pretty small. Mind of the Masses, not a huge effect. Yoke Dogs, Convolute, basically useless. Bone Splinters, I guess, is moderately okay. This pack in general, not a lot of strong stuff for Omniscience. A lot of pretty low mana costs here, which means low impact cards. I think the best stuff for Omniscience, maybe Bone Splinters if you're feeling really defensive. But other than that, just take one of the 4/4s or a Death Toucher if you're feeling defensive. Not a lot of fantastic stuff here. I'm just going to go ahead with the biggest creature in this pack and just take the Epicure of Blood. And this is probably going to be a Season of Growth, but let me look over the rest of the stuff here. A bunch of very low impact cards that do not really matter in Omniscience Draft. There's a small argument for Mind Rot. Some people really like playing with Mind Rot. Mind Rot is quite good if you have it in your opening hand on the play, because then you can Mind Rot your opponent. Everybody only starts with 3 cards in hand in this format, so that'll get rid of the vast majority of their hand, which can be pretty strong if your opponent doesn't just have like a draw 2 card in their hand or something like that. But again, it's only really good if you have it in your opening hand on the play. And Battalion Foot Soldier is okay if you happen to get a bunch of them. I'm still not super impressed by it, even when I have like 3 in my deck, so you really have to win the lottery there for Battalion Foot Soldier to be pretty good. Whereas Season of Growth is always great. anytime you play a creature, you get to scry 1, which is definitely good on its own. And then the really powerful part of it is whenever you cast a spell that targets a creature you control, you draw a card. Most decks in Omniscience Draft are already going to be playing a lot of stuff that targets creatures you control, because Blade Brand, target creature gets Death Touch line of turn and draw a card, allows you to draw a card and cycle through your deck. Befuddle is another card. Target creature gets -4/-0 until end of turn and draw a card. That lets you start to cycle through your deck and draw cards. And both of those cards will let you draw additional cards with Season of Growth, as well as like Angelic Gift and some other stuff. So Season of Growth, very, very good in Omniscience Draft. So this pack's going to be a very easy Anticipate. Anticipate is just very strong in this format. Look at the top 3, put one of them to your hand and the rest on bottom. Being able to sift through multiple cards is pretty good, as well as just using draw power is good in the first place. So Anticipate lets you like look at the top 3 and be like, okay, so there's 1 cantrip and 2 duds. Like there's a 2/2 and a 3/3, just cards that you take really late in the pack. Just take the only good one and try to keep drawing through your deck. So Anticipate, very good. Thought Distortion, kind of the same as Mind Rot. It's alright. I'd say maybe slightly better than Mind Rot, because this guarantees that you hit any of their good draw spells if they're holding on to those, because they can't counter it, and they can't choose what they discard. They have to exile all of the non-creature stuff. So Thought Distortion is actually okay, but definitely a card I wouldn't take till really late in the picks, because it does tend to go really late as well. So Anticipate, it is there. Not a fantastic pack here. We can take something like Growth Cycle, Glaring Aegis, or Maniacal Rage if we just want a card that can trigger Season of Growth to let us draw a card. But I'm not insanely excited about that. Gruesome Scourger can be fine as well. It's one of those cards that really helps you win. If you get into a spot where you get to draw a bunch of cards, it can do a lot of stuff. If you just draw a bunch of stuff and have a bunch of random piddly creatures out, you could drop a Gruesome Scourger and do like 6+ damage to your opponent. Can be a pretty big swing. Pulse of Marauders is alright as well. But the problem with this is you can't really use it immediately. You gotta wait till later to get value out of it. But I could see, like, after having blocked with a Tomebound Lich, being able to bring Tomebound Lich back from your grave could be quite strong. And you do tend to play a lot of big creatures, so just getting a big creature back and recasting it can be fine. So nothing really stands out as like by far the strongest pick here. It's just a bunch of okay stuff. And Disenchant is actually not completely unplayable in this format either, because Season of Growth is very clearly such a good card. Almost everybody's going to be picking up any Season of Growth that they see, so there's going to be viable targets for Disenchant in a decent amount of games. I think I'm just going to go with Gruesome Scourger here. I don't play him a whole lot, but I have gotten him cast against me, and he's done some decent work, so I'm going to try him out myself here. And we do want to have a decent chunk of creatures to be able to target with stuff for our Season of Growth. So, nothing in this pack that's going to let us draw any cards, so it's going to be down to taking the biggest creature or just taking something that could be explosive. I think I'm just going to take the card that could be an explosive play. Uncaged Fury can be pretty huge. Lots of 7/7s and stuff getting cast in this format thanks to everything being free. So Uncaged Fury can kill your opponent out of nowhere, and it does let us draw a card if we have a Season of Growth on the table. So Uncaged Fury I think is going to be the pick in this pack. Alright, so this might be an unpopular opinion or an unpopular pick in this pack, but for me it's between Bone to Ash and Hardcover. So Bone to Ash is just straight up a good card. Everybody knows at this point about Bone to Ash. You just counter your opponent's creature spell and draw a card. It lets you draw a card, and it deals with their 5/5 or 7/7 or whatever they're trying to cast, which is pretty strong. But Hardcover, if the game doesn't end in an immediate combo in one way or the other, being able to draw an additional card basically every turn is really strong. Like, it just gives you more opportunities to draw into your powerful cards. And when you're a deck with Scholar of the Ages, it's basically impossible to not have at least one infinite combo in your deck. So being able to have as many opportunities to see more cards out of your deck as possible is like the best thing you could be doing. Because every other card you get just gets you one step closer to just winning on the spot. So I think Hardcover is going to be my pick here, and it also lets us draw a card if we have Season of Growth out when we cast it. Alright. Manifold Key is actually pretty alright in this format. There's two things it does really well. First of all, the most obvious one, you do get 5 mana per turn in Omniscience Draft, so you can just have one of your creatures be unblockable every turn. That's actually kind of powerful, because a lot of these games can end up with multiple 7/7s, 4/4s, 5/5s just sitting on the field on both ends. And in that spot, you just do 7 to your opponent a turn by making your 7/7 unblockable every turn. So it can be pretty strong on that front. And then the other part, the untapped another target artifact effect, there is an artifact that's pretty playable in this format, which is surprising because it usually sucks. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but it's a 4 mana artifact that you spend 1 mana, tap it, reveal the top card of your library. Well, 1 mana, tap it, name a card, then you reveal the top card of your library, and if you named the card that is on top of your library, you sack it and draw 3. So that card's very playable in this format because there's stuff that scries that's already playable, like Season of Growth and Octoprofit. So if you scry, then you'll just know what's on top and you'll be able to draw it. But it also works with Manifold Key, because if you have Manifold Key, you tap it, name the card, reveal the top card, you're like, oh, that's not what I named. Okay, I'll now use my Manifold Key to untap it, and then tap it again and name the card that I know is on top and go ahead and draw the 3. So Manifold Key is actually a fine card. But that being said, I just wanted to mention it, because I didn't want people to be sleeping on Manifold Key. It's definitely Angelic Gift as the pick here. It lets us draw a card, it turns one of our large creatures into a flying threat, and it lets us draw 2 cards if we have Season of Growth out. So Angelic Gift it is. Here's a pack that's definitely not very exciting. We can take Disenchant, which, again, it'll be good whenever it has targets, but it often won't have targets. Barony Vampire and Healer of the Glade are just very small creatures that will matter almost not at all in this format. The only way these would matter is if we need something to target to draw cards. And then there's Convolute, which doesn't do anything, because our opponent gets to just make 5 mana and pay 4. The only time this would do anything is if they were using activated abilities before they played something threatening, so again, very, very small corner cases where this would ever do anything. And then Glaring Aegis, which is like, it'll trigger our Season of Growth and help us in a game where we're just trying to win by attacking with like one big creature. So like Glaring Aegis is like fine. All these cards are basically just fine. It all depends on what you would prefer the most. I don't tend to play very defensively on Omniscience Draft, so I'm kind of just going to sleep on this Disenchant here. Maybe I should play more defensively than I do. I think I'm just going to pick up a Glaring Aegis for lethal here. And now we're just going to take the biggest creature. And we can pick up this Mind Rot. We can also pick up a Plummet. Again, very similar to Disenchant. Anytime it doesn't do anything, it's going to be sad. But if this ever does something for you, it's going to be like necessary that you had it, because then you're like probably taking out Drakuseth or Sephara or a Vorst Claw with an Angelic Gift, something important. But yeah, I think I'm just going to take Mind Rot. I'm not a huge fan of just like the 3/2 Undead Servant or a second Glaring Aegis. We'll just take Mind Rot. Maybe we'll draw it at the right time. If we don't, it's just another card that's one of those cards that you get late in these packs that's just garbage that you're going to want to discard to stuff like Tomebound Lich and Hardcover. Soulmender, again, really low impact. A 1/1 and you gain 1 life a turn. These games go very few turns. Even if the turns are long, the amount of turns is very low. So this is going to gain you like 3 or 4 life before somebody dies. And it's a 1/1, so very low impact. Zephyr Charge actually can do more work than that because you can, once per turn, give one of your creatures flying. So you can give something like, as I said before, I guess in this deck, the best we can do is give Epicure Stone Golem flying, but even that's okay. Make one of our 4/4s flying till end of turn. Now we can take Maniacal Rage. I like this card just because you can target your own thing if you have a Season of Growth out and draw a card. You can also sometimes just target your opponent's creature to make it unable to block, like to just get lethal through some turn. So Maniacal Rage is actually interesting. And Prismite is just, again, just like a 2 mana 2/1. It's whatever. Just a little baby creature there. And we gotta throw an island in the sideboard and see what we get out of this pack. Looks like, unfortunately for us, no draw spells. Oh, there's an Angelic Gift. Angelic Gift might just be worth it here. Rabbit Bite's going to be okay. I guess we actually don't have anything that huge for Rabbit Bite yet, but that's something we would definitely love to wheel. I think I'm just going to take Angelic Gift for now. Rule of Law is worth mentioning because it can be okay if you go off one turn and play multiple cards in one turn. Just play 4 big creatures and then just drop Rule of Law to make sure your opponent doesn't start comboing into crazy stuff. It can be okay. Nothing super exciting. Sage's Row Denizen's okay as well. It gives you one of the infinite combos with Scholar of the Ages. Like, if you start drawing through your library and you need a way to kill your opponent, just Sage's Row Denizen's a way to kill your opponent, because then you just infinitely recast your Scholar to mill them infinite. But these things go really late, and you only need one in your entire deck to do that, so I don't think that's necessary. I'm just going to take Angelic Gift for now. Hopefully wheeling one of those cards that I talked about a little bit there. Alright. Pretty good pack here. We've got Blade Brand, which combos very well with Season of Growth. We've got Anticipate, which is just really good by itself. And then we've just got some decent big creatures, like the Epicure of Blood. We've got Aerial Assault as a removal spell. I think I'm going to take Anticipate here. We've also got Bone to Ash that we could take, but I think I'm going with Anticipate. Going for more of a proactive strategy, trying to assemble the pieces that we need to combo our opponent into oblivion. We currently don't have any infinite combos in this deck because we don't have any Blood for Bones or Unsummons, but the second we see one, then we have one. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing we're missing from having the potential to go infinite. So I'm actually going to take Portal of Sanctuary here. Portal of Sanctuary is very good with Angelic Gift and Season of Growth because you can return one of your creatures to your hand and all of the auras attached to it. So you return all of your little auras that draw a card when they come into play, and then you recast them all and draw a bunch more cards. So Portal of Sanctuary can give you a lot more cards here. And I'm definitely hoping to wheel this hardcover, because as I said before, I do like the card quite a bit. So hopefully we can get that hardcover back. For now, we're taking the Portal of Sanctuary. Alright, no draw spells here. So we can take a removal spell, we can just take a big dork. Yeah, I mean, it's just a removal spell or a big dork. At this point, we might just want like a 3/4 flyer instead of a 4/4 on the ground. It's 1 less power for the ability to be evasive. I don't know. There's also a Rule of Law if you're that kind of player. Not a super insane pack. I guess I'll take Sleep Paralysis, because it can deal with an opponent's threat if they do get a bomb rare like Dracuzeth. And also, worst case scenario, we can target one of our own things to draw a card off Season of Growth if we ever don't need to get rid of any of our opponent's stuff. There's the card I was talking about earlier, Diviner's Lockbox. Very good combo with Season of Growth. Very good combo with Octoprofit and stuff like that. I think I'm just going to take the Diviner's Lockbox here. It's got the highest potential out of all these cards since it can draw 3 off that one card, which is very good. But there's other good stuff in here. Dragon Mage is good, especially if you're in a combo deck, because if you get 1 hit off this thing and then you draw 7, like drawing an Anticipate or 2, along with a Scholar, like that'll just end the game right there. Octoprofit lets you scry and stuff. Very good pack here. I'm just going to go with the Lockbox. Maybe I like the Lockbox too much. I don't know. I just take the cards I like, and I have a fun time. This pack is not very good. We can take Sanitarium Skeleton, and it can chump block every single turn. Which is definitely not bad. We can also take Sage's Row Denizen if we really want to mill our opponent out, but this pack is overall very unexciting. Natural End if we want to disenchant in our deck. I mean, I guess there's stuff like Portal of Sanctuary. Like, it's not just Season of Growth that is a decent target for stuff like that. But these cards tend to go really late in these packs, so maybe we'll just get one later. I'm just going to take an infinite blocker. Sanitarium Skeleton. For as many chump blocks as possible. And another pack very, very unexciting for Omniscience. Squad Captain can be pretty big if you play it late. The rest of these creatures are all pretty small, so I guess it's Squad Captain as the biggest creature here. You could also just take one of these random enchantments for Season of Growth shenanigans, but we've only got one Season of Growth. It's not like we're always guaranteed to be drawing cards off that stuff. Definite Anticipate here. Now, Keldon Raider probably. Discard one of our garbage cards, which we definitely have a lot of, to draw another card, try to draw into something better. Bone to Ash or Blade Brand? Oh, that's actually a really hard pick. Like a really good offensive card and a really good draw spell. I mean, I guess not really good because we only have the one season, but still pretty good. I guess I'm taking Bone to Ash here. Take a little bit of defensive stuff, and the hardcover did wheel. Very happy about that. Do like that card quite a bit. I'm just going to take more random creatures to throw hardcovers onto, so we've always got targets. You know, destroying an artifact is sometimes not going to do, like, nothing. Like, sometimes that will destroy their Diviner's Lockbox or Portal of Sanctuary or something. Tectonic Rift will never do anything. No one is going to have a land on the field at any time, so you just cannot cast that spell. So it's Reckless Airstrike in that pack. And, I feel like I have a little bit too many like enchantments and stuff for the amount of creatures I have right now, because I don't feel like I have very many creatures. So I kind of want to just take Daybreak Chaplain here and just have more stuff to target. Alright, what do we have here? Really not a lot. You may cast an instant or sorcery to convert mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard. I mean, I guess Chandra's fine to recast and anticipate. She can at least do that, so I kind of like just taking Chandra here. She's also a rare for collection reasons.
I'm happy as a hellion to start some fires.
So Chandra seems fine. Oh my god! Oh! Well, that's going to be a difficult decision. Good lord. So we have Risen Reef, which will always draw a card when you play it, as well as being able to draw more cards if you play more elementals later. Winged Words, which will immediately draw you 2 cards, which is very strong. Moldervine Reclamation, which will draw you a shit ton of cards if the game goes long, as creatures get traded around. Wow, this pack is good. And then Octo Prophet helps you trigger Diviner's Lockbox and all that good stuff. Do I have any elementals? I feel like even if I don't have any elementals, like, the potential is so high. And he works with Portal of Sanctuary. If you get Chandra out, draw 2 off of Chandra's little 1/1 elementals. And we do need more creatures. We have a very small amount of creatures, I still feel like. God, it feels so bad to pass a Winged Words, though. I'm going to take the Risen Reef. Man, I wish those cards were just like spread out among multiple packs. That would have been incredible. So now we have a Tomebound Lich or a Moldervine Reclamation. Pretty hard pick here. I guess we do have a Sanitarium Skeleton. That could be really good with the Moldervine. I think that makes me a little more likely to just take this Moldervine Reclamation then. Which is what I will do. And here we are. We're back to the Garbo packs. I guess we can take a Negate. It lets us counter our opponent's cards that say draw 2 or draw 3 or anything like that. That would just kill us out of nowhere. What do we have now? We can take an Elemental, because nothing in here draws any cards anyway. So I guess we're taking an Elemental, and it will draw a card if we have Risen Reef on the board. Oh, there's Unsummon. Alright. There we go. We got an infinite combo with Scholar of the Ages. If we get Scholar of the Ages and Unsummon, we win the game. If we have any other instant or sorcery that draws a card, such as Anticipate, or... I know we have more. Do we not have more? Do we just have Anticipates? Wow, this has been a weird deck. Alright, well, if we have Anticipate, Unsummon, and the Scholar of the Ages, then we go infinite. There we go, there's another one. Befuddle. That'll be another thing that lets us go infinite. We do need like one copy of Sage's Row Denizen if we want to be able to kill our opponent by going through our whole library. Do we have a way that will guarantee that we win if we go through the whole library here? Uncaged Fury. But do I have anything haste? I guess we'll just have to hope that they scoop or that it's enough, because I think Befuddle is just too much better than knowing we have a way to kill our opponent if we go infinite. Alright, definitely they're just big old chunky elemental in that pack. Card that lets us draw a card, Keldon Raider. Now... pack's not great. No elementals in here either. Take a 4-6 or a 3-5 reach. I think a 3-5 reach is better. We can also take another Glaring Aegis, but I'm not a huge fan of that. Active Treason, there we go. Now if we go through our entire deck, we win off of Active Treason. Because if you go through your entire deck with Scholar of the Ages plus Unsummon plus anything that draws a card, you can get to the point where you just Scholar of the Ages, unsummon the Scholar of the Ages, and keep bringing back it and one other instant or sorcery. So if the other instant or sorcery is Active Treason, you can then give every creature in your entire deck haste and kill your opponent. So it'll take a really long time, and most people will probably scoop by then anyway, but Active Treason gives us a guaranteed way to know if we get the wheels turning to where we get to draw our whole deck off Scholar of the Ages, we will 100% guaranteed win that game. So we'll take Active Treason. And it's not the worst card outside of that scenario either. I think I'll take Feral Invocation over Inspired Charge just because of the potential to draw a card off of it. It's not a high potential, but it's there. Alright, so we gotta cut 4 cards out of here now. And then get this show off the road. This deck is definitely not great. Not the best Omniscience Draft I've ever got, but the packs did force us into some pretty hard decisions with multiple good cards. We would have loved to have all of them in the deck, but we only got to choose one in a lot of spots there. So what do we not want in here? Probably no Glaring Aegis. Probably no Reckless Airstrike. That'll put us to 42 cards. Still got to cut 2 more. Keep all these random dorky creatures in here just to have stuff to target. Maybe take out these Maniacal Rages. And this seems fine. Like, Unholy Indenture seems fine in here. We can throw it on something like a Risen Reef and they just won't want to attack us ever. Alright, I think that's about the best this deck can do. Be missing something here, but this seems fine. Not insane, not terrible. This looks like a pretty standard Omniscience Draft deck to me. So we'll just have to see who gets luckier in these games here. There's Unsummon, so all we need is our Scholar of the Ages, and we win. That is if they don't have any counter spells, though. Scorch Spitter to start it off. They definitely wanted us to Bone to Ash that thing. Oh, no, never mind. I guess they just have a Scorch Spitter. Hey, we got a Bone to Ash. I'm going to play this Moorland Inquisitor before I do anything else, just in case they somehow have a counter spell that could hit Anticipate and Moorland Inquisitor. Alright, we actually got to do Anticipate. I guess I prefer Angelic Gift to Keldon Raider, because I don't want to discard either of these, but I do want to draw one more card. And I don't really need a 4-3 when all they have is a 1-1. The 2-2 is fine. This is a weird game so far. A 1-1 versus a 2-2. This is not what you expect in Omniscience Draft, that's for sure. Befuddle my boy. Alright. Prismite, yep. I've got a 2-1 against our 2-2, but we do have the mana to give it first strike every turn, so... If they don't Blade Brand here or something, I guess I'm giving first strike. Kind of meant to block there, but I'll just block now. -2 power, first strike. What are you going to do about that? Nothing. Sanitarium Skeleton with Moldervine Reclamation? Let's go. This is how we're going to draw cards this game. It's also how we're going to gain life. They're going to Bone to Ash our Sanitarium boy. We can just recast them. I'm going to let them draw that card. I could Bone to Ash our own thing to get them to not draw that card. That just seems dumb, though. Because all they've played is a 1-1 and a 2-1. They've got to have better creatures in there somewhere that we actually want to Bone to Ash. But that did show off their desperation there, that they really wanted to draw cards. That does definitely tell me that their deck is better than it looks right now. My deck is better than it looks right now, but actually, nah. Nah, this actually looks pretty good. Sanitarium Skeleton plus Moldervine? Let's be honest about it. This is a good field. Just poke them for 2 a turn, I guess. If this game wins by eventually just poking them for 2 enough, like, this is just a strange game of Omniscience here. That's an Anticipate. That's very terrifying. If any of their top 3 is anything good, this could start going very poorly. Maybe they just have a bunch of, like, counter spells now. Just a bunch of negates or something? Another Bone Dash? Cool. Just keep getting there. In the sky. Opponent has definitely drawn a lot more cards than us. I guess I'm gonna Bone Dash that thing. Just wait, they were just holding a Drakuseth the whole time. They were just waiting to draw another decent creature to get our Bone Dash out of the way. No, looks like that's not the case, so we do get to keep just hitting him with a Moorland Inquisitor, I guess. They're just Unholy Indenture that dude, just in case they kill him, I guess. Because that's like the only creature on my field that has any threat of dying. That's the only creature that they would ever consider murdering right now, I think. So might as well put the thing on him that makes him come back. Epicure of Blood. Ooh, hardcover. That is like pretty much exactly what I need right now. Because this is a slow game here. Put it on the Lavakin Brawler over the Mammoth Spider. Because I'd rather block with the Mammoth Spider. Discard Keldon Raider, I guess. Oh, I should have discarded on summon. I'm so dumb. I've been holding on to this unsummon with like a death grip. All because I want it if I draw Scholar of the Ages, but Scholar of the Ages will bring it back from my grave to my hand. I don't need to hold on to unsummon. I should have discarded unsummon and just played my 4-3. I mean, it could also... Unsummon could actually win me the game if they eventually get a flying or reach creature. Could make it so it's too late. Just put it right back in their hand and bash them. I can also unsummon my own Mammoth Spider if I'm scared of this Act of Treason. Which I'm not really. Because it'll just let me draw another card off Sanitarium Skeleton. I guess if they try to Bone Splinters with it or something, that is when I would unsummon. But I'm totally cool to take 4. Gain a life and draw a card. That's the main reason I'm fine taking damage here, because at least I get to draw a card. Bring back Sanitarium Skeleton to my hand. Looks like they're just giving me back my Mammoth Spider. Alright. Cool with that. Just gonna draw a card here. Probably discard a Prismite if it's something good. Zephyr Charge? Zephyr Charge is good here. We got like nothing in the air. I'm gonna save this Befuddle now. I think I'm just actually trying to get lethal in like a dumb way. Just trying to outrace them. So now I can Befuddle and unsummon one of their dudes on the Crackback. They're down to 6. So they die on the Crackback. Alright, well if that's happening, I guess we're gonna do it. Befuddle Epic here. That'll stop as much damage as... Oh, draw our Portal of Sanctuary? I would have loved that. Unsummon... Scorch Spitter, I guess, stops the most damage, because it stops one that guaranteed gets in, and Sanitarium's going to block Prismite if they swing in all out. Alright. Goodbye Portal of Sanctuary, very sad. They also exile all the stuff from our grave, which makes it so we can't Scholar of the Ages them. I just realized I don't actually have exact lethal. Because they do gain a life here, and I don't have a second elemental, so Lavakin only attacks for 3. I was thinking it would attack for 4, but it does not. Soul Salvage. Alright, Mammoth Spider coming back. Well, that's not good. Oh no! Don't play me like that! They just exiled my grave! Oh god! That's gotta be one of the saddest things. It's gotta be one of the saddest things I've ever seen. Let's draw a card if it's a good instant or sorcery to throw in the grave. Oh god, another hardcover? As much as I'd love to play that, Scholar of the Ages is better. Well... That Mammoth Spider kind of just stops me dead in my tracks now. I can't believe the thought distortion exactly when they needed it. One turn later, and they would have been dead. Oh god, again? All this stuff that I want my stuff in my grave for. This does let Lavakin Brawler do major work, though. And Moldervine Reclamation. Alright, no, this is actually legit. This is actually really big. Because Lavakin Brawler attacks at 5 power now, so it'll kill Mammoth Spider and these 1/1s. Like, if they die, I just gain a life draw card. Like, that's totally fine. And they will die no matter what. That's actually incredible. Chandra was a fantastic draw. Epicure is fine. Ooh, Mind Rot. Mind Rot would have been better a second ago, but it's fine. Silverback Shaman. So I think we got there. This game was a strange game. Strange game of Omniscience. No one dropped a Vorst Claw or a Ripscale Predator. Just a lot of moderate and smaller creatures this game. Pretty long for Omniscience as well. Alright. We did get there eventually, though. Even if we were one turn off from being able to do our infinite combo. That's still sad. I love comboing and stuff. I'm a total combo player. But, you know, winning regardless is fine. It just would have been a lot cooler if there was no thought distortion there. Moldavine Reclamation definitely put in work. I completely didn't even notice when I was drafting this deck the synergy between Moldavine Reclamation and Chandra. Like, that's busted. Draw 2 cards minimum. Guaranteed just draw 2 cards a turn, because you have to sack the elementals at the end of your turn, even if they don't die in combat. Alright, that is a starting hand. Very weak to Bone to Ash, but I do not think I can mulligan this. So we just play Risen Reef, hope for no Bone to Ash, throw a hardcover on the Reef, and pass. And it's a good start. I guess it's not actually that insane. This does lose to just generic decent starts of like, here's a Vorst Claw, and here's a 5/5. No Bone Dash. That makes me happy. I think I'd rather have Diviner's Lockbox resolved, so I'm going to cast Hardcover first. Alright. Cool. Now what do we have a lot of in this deck? 3 copies of Anticipate? I think that's the only thing. With 3. So we'll name Anticipate, because it's the most likely card. And it's Gruesome Scourger. So much for that. No draws yet. Won't even draw next turn, because Gruesome Scourger is not going to let us. Diviner's Lockbox for our opponent. Let's see if they scry. And Vorat Raptor. Marauder's Axe. And last card, Octoprophet. 4/1 flying first strike. That's pretty impressive. We'll see what they name here. Let's see what their most common card is. Bone Dash. I don't want to play against a deck with a giant stack of Bone Dash. Alright, that's fine though. Draw a card, discard a card here. Hardcover again? I guess we're discarding Feral Invocation then? Name Anticipate again. Moldavine Reclamation. It's a good card. But we are going to just die to this random flyer here. Double hardcover, though. That should be powerful. What did our opponent draw? Epic here? Now they're going to draw Winged Words? Oh, boy. We need a big turn here. I think we... I don't know what we do here. Do Diviner's Lockbox first and there's really hope for Anticipate? I guess. Angelic Gift. Is Angelic Gift a good enough draw? I guess it does turn our Gruesome Scourger into the 3/5 flyer. That actually might be better than Moldavine here. I hate to say it, but none of our creatures are dying, so we're not going to draw anything off Moldavine anytime soon, currently. I'm going to save this Moorland Inquisitor in hand, and discard it to hardcover next turn. I have a feeling we're just screwed, though. Because now they've got Winged Words, which gives them even more of a chance to draw something that'll allow Diviner's Lockbox to go off. So they're like probably drawing 5 cards a turn this turn. If it's just 2 cards, we might be fine, but if they draw off the lockbox, we're definitely not in a good spot. Risen Reef on the top. Opponent's deck is very good, and now they've got a Risen Reef coming out with Portal of Sanctuary on board, which is really good. Well, this is definitely Befuddle or something. If it's Befuddle or something, I'm already screwed. So, just make him have it. Inspired Charge? Yep, that'll do it. Zephyr Charge, get that out of here. Sleep Paralysis. Not exactly what I'm looking for. Sanitarium Skeleton isn't either, but I can throw it in the grave and use it as a blocker at least. Well, last chance to get out of this. Daybreak Chaplain. Cool. Alright, let's see how many cards our opponent draws this turn. Spoilers, it's going to be a lot. At least 2. From Risen Reef and recasting off Portal. Wow! They'd rather recast Anvil Raptor and give me back Sleep Paralysis so I can just put it back on? Weird. But okay. Maybe they didn't know sleep. They probably didn't know Sleep Paralysis would just go back to my hand. Oh god, Captivating Gyre. That's going to be lethal next turn. They can just bounce all of my blockers, and then I take 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm going to have to probably Sleep Paralysis the 4/4 instead of the 2/1. Just because I know they can bounce my whole field. Problem is, though, if I set up to where them bouncing my whole field won't kill me, then they could just like bounce their Risen Reef and draw another card and get value that way. It's very spooky. Prismite. God, I'm just drawing drawing all of the really bad cards here. We have drawn the jank half of our deck. There's Chandra. I'm pretty sure we're just dead, though. Because, I mean, they can bounce my whole field, do 9? Because Captivating Gyre is coming up, I think I have to Sleep Paralysis Epic here. Man, I don't know. If I do it on Anvil Rot, it forces them to Gyre all my dudes, or I'll have a chumper for Epic here. And then they don't get to draw another off Risen Reef. And they don't get to bounce the thing that's sleep paralyzed. I don't know. I'm just going to throw it on Epic here. It's like the biggest thing. It's the most damage right now. Well, If I had known that the stack of cards, like, right after Moldervine Reclamation was just a stack of jank creatures, I would have definitely kept the Moldervine Reclamation. Bounce my Risen Reef. It does get rid of hardcover, so I guess there's that. But... oh, wait, they might have Bone to Ash in hand is what's going on. That would be really bad. That'd be tremendously bad. But if they're actually just letting me recast and resolve Risen Reef, that's great. Just draw another card instead of drawing and discarding. And if Risen Reef can be on this board when Chandra resolves, that will be great for me. We got on top. They're still looking for the Bone to Ashes. They have a giant stack of Bone to Ash in their deck, and they just haven't hit any of them. Alright. The fact that they named Bone to Ash makes me think they probably didn't draw Bone to Ash, so Risen Reef might resolve? Risen Reef has to resolve or the game is over. I have to just draw insanely well off of Risen Reef plus Chandra combo. Let's find out. I'm not going to cast Sanitarium Skeleton first because they're not going to Bone to Ash Sanitarium Skeleton. Like, are you kidding me? Anticipate! Should have named Anticipate for Diviner's Lockbox. Finally drew it. I'm going to Anticipate before I cast Chandra, probably. In case they have Negate. I guess they know about Chandra, though. Oh my god! Oh my god, please. Please, universe.
Anyone need a fire started?
I have to win this turn.
Too bad.
I'm trying really hard.
Say hi to my fiery friends.
And we drew a really good card. Oh my god, Mind Rot? Mind Rot, let's go. Portal of Sanctuary to redo the Scholar? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Discard 2 random dorks. Oh my god. Get to Anticipate Mind Rot again. Portal of Sanctuary to Scholar again. Feral Invocation. Oh, wow. Yes, I have to win this turn or they have lethal in the air. Bone to Ash doesn't do it. I can counter my own Sanitarium Skeleton to draw a card because none of these cards do it, so I have to go that deep at this point. That all in. I'm not using Lockbox yet because I have a Season of Growth in my deck that'll let me know that I draw a card here. So it's going to take exactly 5 mana to pick that up and use Lockbox and use Portal. So I need to make sure that I counter Skeleton first. So I know that it spends the black mana, because that's the mana I need. Vorse Claw. I guess I don't need to pick Skeleton up. So I don't need to make any mana yet. Let's do a white mana for Portal. Oh, it's using a green? That's fine too, as long as it's not a black mana. Return Scholar. Play Scholar. Anticipate Bone to Ash. Anticipate. Negate, Squad Captain, and Epicure. None of those save me! god. Negate in case they do something crazy? If I find a way to save myself? See what's on bottom here. Okay. So it's not. Let's not name any of those for the Diviner's Lockbox. Let's go ahead and Bone Dash a skeleton now. Doesn't do it. Alright, what's in our deck? There's 2 more Anticipate, 2 Keldon Raider. Any of those on the bottom? There's a Keldon Raider on bottom, so Anticipate is the most likely card. So we name Anticipate. And it's unsummoned. No! 1 card off? 1 card off? Unsummon for the infinite next turn? No. Oh my god, Risen... Oh, Force Claws and Elemental! We did it! Except that the clock's going crazy. We gotta go as fast as possible here. We have to go so fast. We have to go so fast. Freaking timer, dude. Actually, I have to just unsummon that thing. I have to not go infinite, or I'll just lose to the timer. That's so dumb. I would win. I would totally win this turn if this timer didn't exist, ruining my day. I'm gonna go so fast. Man, and now, of course, now it's extending on me. Now it's like, look, you didn't have to worry about time. We got your back. Whatever, man. Befuddle and Angelic Gift. Probably want Befuddle here. God, I should have won this game! God dang it! That's so ridiculously infuriating. I could have attacked with Daybreak Chaplain that whole time to survive. Oh, I can recast Unsummon off of Chandra, but it'll exile it, right? Yeah, of course it would exile it. There goes our 1 infinite. That is really, really agitating. I cannot express how mad I am right now. The salt levels are insane. I had the infinite combo, but the stupid rope is like, you're not doing anything important. Hurry up and make decisions, or we'll end your turn now. It's like, I'm doing very important things that will 100% guarantee that I win and there's nothing my opponent can do to stop it. But Arena can stop it by giving me the rope. I am likely to win at this point. It's probably fine. Let's see what's on top. Okay, opponent scoops. Alright. I was gonna say, because now I've gone through my whole deck to where I know the order of it, so then I could see what's on top and do the Diviner's Lockbox to know that I have it. I've got Negate back up. We just start attacking with the really big dude. We're probably fine. That was so scary, though. I really thought I was going to get punished for going down on the clock there. Got a War of the Spark pack, got a Karn's Bastion. Not bad at all. Oops, why am I going to the Oko's Madness event? I am in Omniscience Draft right now. Well, 2 wins and no losses. It's a very good start to this event. These have been some long and terrifying games. Some long and close games. That last game was ridiculous. Ridiculous. My life flashed before my eyes. I was ready to sue Wizards of the Coast for roping me. Pull out the legislation. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this joke. To be fair, I could have played faster in the earlier turns to have another like hourglass ready, but still does not feel great. Like, there's only a certain level of fast I can possibly go when I'm chaining stuff, because my computer starts to run pretty poorly. Oh, I'm just going to lose turn 1 this game. That'll be a nice change of pace. We can just get this game over immediately. Drawn from Dreams, probably the second best card in the format. Best is Scholar of Ages, but Drawn from Dreams, like, look through basically a fourth of your deck and pick the 2 best cards. Jesus Christ. Yep. I'm not going to lose quite turn 1, but basically. I guess I get to make a 2-1 flyer. They have a Bone to Ash in hand, probably, that they were considering countering my Prismite with. Oh boy. I'm definitely dead.
I'm happy as a hellion to start
Maybe
some
they'll
fires.
attack me, or maybe they'll attack Chandra instead of me,
Fire
though.
spreads fast, with help.
Nah, this is this is the immediate loss. Field too large. They're gonna attack me with Dragon Mage. I guess my only hope is that they draw duds off of the 7 cards and I draw straight gas. Like, I draw the Scholar Infinite combo with a negate backup, and they just draw their 7 poop cards. Like, most decks have 7 poop cards. Let's see who's gonna get the luckiest off this 7. I have to get a lot luckier than them off this. Oh, there's Scholar with a negate backup. Scholar with a negate backup with Chandra's -2 to recast and anticipate. Jesus, take the wheel. I can also Uncaged Fury my Prismite, I guess. Maybe Uncaged Fury Prismite, anticipate, Scholar of the Ages, Uncaged Fury Prismite again. Ah, now they have a flyer, so now it probably doesn't matter. I should probably anticipate right now, just in case I can pick up a Bone to Ash. But they already cast the Dragon Mage, it's too late. 3rd Dragon Mage, by the way. Scholar of the Ages. Now I need Bone to Ash now, or I lose immediately. Like, well, I guess I lose immediately. We both had Scholar of the Ages Infinite for the game. They don't have infinite. They have Drawn from Dreams, though. They're going to draw the top 8 cards of their library, pick 2 of them, and then the 3rd one they just get from a Blade Brand. They choose Duress, though. I guess that's fair enough. That way they can get rid of my Drawn from Dreams, but I don't know. I feel like that probably means they don't have a Scholar Infinite if they're taking Duress here. Oh wait, no, Duress gets rid of Negate to make sure that I can't Scholar Infinite. But if they have another Negate, I guess opponent just has everything in the world. But now they're Duressing just a actual sack of garbage. Just a card that doesn't matter at all. Also known as no cards. I guess I could have left Uncaged Fury in there so they could actually discard something, but I want to just put a stop to that right there. They say good game, but they could actually get insanely unlucky and have it not be good game. Sage's Row. Where's Unsummon? That unsummon. That's unsummon. And that's the format. Well, got a taste of our own medicine there. That's what we were trying to do, but we didn't achieve. We did not achieve. Let's see if I can get a game where I don't draw my stack of 2-1s and 1-3s and stuff. Oh boy. This hand sucks a lot of butts. I think I have to mulligan this, because it's literally that bad. I don't really want a 2-2 Vigilance, so I guess we're keeping Mono Bone to Ash. Shared Summons. That's another card that can win immediately. Shared Summons pick up Scholar. If one of these two cards is Scholar of the Ages, then that is a turn 1 win combo. We do have a Bone to Ash, though, so we can Bone to Ash their Scholar if that is the plan. Even if it's not, they can just take like 2 Vorse Claws if they didn't manage to pick up a Scholar in the draft. Oh, they didn't get a Scholar. Brightwood Tracker and Ironroot is the best 2 creatures? Brightwood Tracker? You don't even have the mana to use that ability. I'm so confused. Those are the best 2 in their deck? Strange. And they just save Brightwood Tracker in hand. I don't know. I don't know what's happening anymore. Just play a Mammoth Spider. I'm just going to hold on to this Befuddle, because this deck is not nearly consistent enough to try to draw into like a chain combo. So I can just save Befuddle for when I actually do a little bit off of it. I've definitely had decks that were a lot more consistent that it would be worth just cycling Befuddle as soon as possible, but I do not think this is not one of those decks. Moldavine Reclamation. I don't know why their Brightwood Tracker is not on field still. Shifting Ceratops. Give it haste. Yep. Wait, what happened to the Brightwood Tracker? Am I an idiot? Reveal 2 of them. Put them in your hand and show. Oh, they discarded it to Mind Rot. I am a fool. I am a buffoon. This is what happens when I play more than 2 hours of Magic in one day. I played an hour of Oko's Madness and now an hour of this, and the brain is nothing but rot at this point. It's not good. Okay. Just giving it trample for that 1 damage. Yep. Well, more importantly, they do get to draw a card off this, thanks to Moldavine. Or if they just have like a Befuddle of their own, it's like, yeah, they get to just kill my dude. Steel Overseer. Well, things are going very poorly. I think I would way rather lose fast to an infinite combo than, oh my god, than really slowly over the course of several turns. Opponent's deck is really good. Drawn from Dreams and Shared Summons. Like, if they had a single Scholar of the Ages in their deck, it would be like nearly unbeatable. Hey, Moldervine of our own. Pretty good. I mean, not right now, because our creature's not going to die. Unless we just block Ceratops, just chump block to have our spider die. We might be getting to the point where I should just befuddle Spider during our turn, just draw a card. Just befuddle anything. Meteor Golem, get out of here. Your deck's too strong, opponent. Too strong. Moldervine, Meteor, Drawn from Dreams, Shared Summon. Oh, that's why they picked up the Brightwood Tracker. They specifically picked a poopy creature to discard. I am a major buffoon. Take Xaxes. I'm already literally dead on board. I'm still dead on board even if I befuddle. But if I draw another befuddle... Alright, well, we're dead. Oh, they killed me before I could concede! The speed of that man. Or I should say that person, I don't know. I don't know their gender. Alright. 2 wins, 2 losses. If we lose this one, it's all ogre. And if we win, we have to try. I don't know which is a worse fate. At this point. We'll find out. Whichever hand we get dealt, that's the worst fate. The grass is always poopier in my court. That's the phrase, right? Alright, let's stop being just randomly pessimistic as the form of humor of the day. And try to win some magic. It's not a hand that's really going to win, but I do get to Keldon Raider and redo a Keldon Raider off Portal. Like, this hand's okay. It's fine. If our opponent just has a pretty average start, we should be fine. Rip Scale with Flying and Menace is pretty good. This is a pretty average start here. Okay, slightly above average. This may be a problem. Anticipate. Risen Reef, because that'll draw 2 cards thanks to Portal. And Holy Indenture, that's not what I'm looking for at all. I'm probably just going to discard that card to Keldon Raider at this point. Let's just do that right now in case I draw Scholar, something I'd rather Portal. Some bad cards. Angelic Gift is good with Portal, though, because it's an additional card to draw. Another Keldon Raider. This card is Active Treason. There's Scholar. We're really going for it here. I could double Anticipate, or I can Risen Reef Angelic Gift. Double Anticipate is going to be better, so we're going to pick up Scholar instead. Oh, Chandra. Wow. This is a deck. Sometimes this is a deck, and sometimes it's not. Right now, it's a deck. Hardcover? Hardcover on a hasty elemental? We really want that card. That was mainly for the memes, but it was worth it. Sorry if I'm not talking a lot here, I'm kind of just going through the motions as you do. I'm pretty sure we win. Ooh. I have to pick up that Season of Growth so I can draw a card off of the lockbox. We'll draw 3 off the lockbox. We absolutely, definitely, for sure win. We can likely hit our infinite at this point. Draw a card here. Should have scryed first. That was bad ordering, but Uncaged Fury definitely works. Unsummon, we did it. We hit Unsummon. Now we just start active treasoning everything. Cards in library? Yeah, we've got more than enough cards to active treason for lethal. There's the scoop. That was dumb. That was a dumb turnaround from the last couple of games. Last couple of games just made our deck look like absolute poop, and then we literally comboed off on turn 1 that game. Okay, then. That is one way to do things. That's one way to beat your opponent. Give them one turn, and that's it. Alright. We're 3-3, so we're definitely fine. If I lose this game, I can't be too disappointed. 3-3, we're average. Just an average Joe all up in this. Hopefully their last card is something good. Let's see. Get rid of it. It's a disenchant, so not really. But it could have killed our hardcover, which is sad. Wow, weird cards here. Definitely anticipate. I can't count on them drawing a good creature off the top. Kelvin Raider for sure gives us something to throw hardcover onto, so we're going to play it, discard Feral Invocation. And then hardcover for the long game here. Risen Reef, very good draw. Force Claw off Risen Reef to draw another card? Okay, then. Oh my god, mono elementals? This isn't fair. Our deck is not built that well. We don't have that many elementals game. Let's hardcover... I'm going to still hardcover Keldon Raider, because I don't want to hardcover a creature that I'm worried about them killing. So I don't want to hardcover Risen Reef, and I definitely don't want to hardcover Force Claw, and we do have 3 elementals out, so probably don't want to hardcover Lavakin Brawler either. We want to spread out our threats as much as possible, so hardcover whatever your shittiest creature is, would be my recommendation if you're running hardcover in one of these Omniscience drafts. Tomebound Lich. It's unlikely I'm gonna discard Uncaged Fury, but just in case we get to draw our Scholar of the Ages off the top or something, that could be good. Let's do it again. Angelic Gift. I think we're just going to keep Uncaged Fury still. We know they have a Blade Brand coming up. Oh, I could have just hit him for lethal. I'm so dumb. Anyways, we know they have a Blade Brand coming up, so that we know they can block and kill Vor's Claw here. If they don't draw 3 off this, we can still just get them with lethal, so... We'll just attack all and then actually cast Uncaged Fury this time. Oh, shit. Hopefully missing lethal didn't matter there. It may have. Ooh, this is some sloppy gameplay. As usual on the channel. That's what we live for. Sanitarium Skeleton. Yeah, wow, we really missed lethal. Now they just have 1,000 blockers. Befuddle. Whatever, man, just go for it. See what happens. We can put them into a spot where, at best, they misplay and we Uncaged Fury them to death, or they just don't play around Uncaged Fury. And, like, at worst, we can still just befuddle whatever they're going to Blade Brand and kill most of their field here. Alright. Still haven't cast their Blade Brand, so we can just allow this. I guess I can befuddle to save our Risen Reef. It's probably the best thing we can befuddle here, and then I can Uncage Fury if I need to save something from a Blade Brand. Unsummon as well. I can unsummon if need be. I don't think I need to. I think I can allow all these trades. Well, the one trade, which is Stone Golem and Lavakin. Yeah. Blade Brand and Vorot. Kill our Tomebound Lich in the first strike damage step. Unless we unsummon or Uncaged Fury. That's fine. I think that's fine. Our opponent should be dead right now. I'm so dumb. Shouldn't even have to think about this nonsense. They apparently drew into another card here. Fuddle Lavakin Brawler. Sure. Unsummon that. Recast it, draw a card off Risen Reef. Jesus Christ. I am getting so punished for the the play last turn. Forgetting about my Uncaged Fury. I guess it's not as punished as you can possibly be in this format. The most punished you can get is if your opponent just combos off and kills you immediately. But to me, right now, that would be preferable. Because if I have to fight really hard and then still lose eventually because of the misplay, that's going to feel way worse than just losing immediately. I think I was just trying to go too fast. I just kept clicking OK and all attack way too fast and skipped right through the Uncaged Fury time. They're just going in. Alright. Take 6 in the air. They must just have double negate. This is gonna suck. Fuddle, draw more cards. Kind of weird to do that main phase too. Not sure I get the reasoning. They just discarded a Rabid Bite? Could a Rabid bit your Tomebound Lich to my Vorse Claw and you chose not to? I don't understand anything anymore. I'm probably just losing my mind because I've made a bunch of misplays, so they're probably playing correctly and I'm just too dumb to see it. Jesus Christ, that's not what we're looking for. I mean, sure. If you have the counter, definitely counter Chandra. I don't know why you have to look at my grave to decide that. God dang it. I think I'm just done. I shouldn't concede. I should make him do it. I'm so dead. I mean, I take 8. I have one final draw step. Possibly. Probably not. I just died because I misplayed. I just threw the game in the bin. I just went yeet! Tossed it in the trash. As fast as possible. It's like, I don't want to win games. Who wants to win games? Why would I ever cast Uncaged Fury? The cruel irony of trying to use Uncaged Fury to protect my Vorse Claw in a spot where I'm super losing when I could have just used it on the Vorse Claw several turns ago to win immediately. Why not have Drakuzeth as well? Oh my god. We have one final draw. Basically, if this is Scholar of Ages, we win. If it's literally any other card, we lose. Click. Alright. We're done. Well, that feels terrible. It really, really sucks to lose a game from a misplay. I don't know if it's just me, but it feels so much worse when you misplay to lose the game. And not even that it was like a conscious misplay in that, like, your reasoning was off or your logic was off, but literally just playing too fast and being like, wait a sec, I could have just cast my pump spell there to end it, and I didn't. That feels the worst, because you're like, that's 100% on me. I definitely deserved to lose that game. Could have had the win several turns ago, so that's totally on me. But as I've said before, and many, many times on this channel, if you're coming to this channel for really good logic, like really great Magic gameplay from a competitive player, you are on the wrong channel. I am casual, limited, and Commander fanboy who just tries to do his best. And often derps it up. But that's life. That's how it goes sometimes. So, with that all out of the way, my arena has frozen up. There are wild cards floating in the distance. There's a there's a reduced to ashes. What is this? Gauntlets of Light way out there. So with that said, I'm gonna figure out how to unfreeze my game and get it closed, and I'll see you all next time. So, as I've said before, if you haven't watched any other videos, you might not have heard this, but I'm not a very big fan of what Eldraine has done to Limited and Standard recently, so I just haven't been playing a lot of Arena lately, because I'm not into Limited or Standard right now, which is basically all there is on Arena, so might be a while till the next video. I don't know for sure. There's definitely no kind of schedule on this type stuff. But yeah, I'm definitely excited for Theros. Can't wait for that to come out, but until then, I'll probably just be popping on for any of the little random fun formats that show up that I'm interested in, because this is mainly a hobby for me. I like to do for fun, so when they pop stuff up like Oko's Madness and Omniscience Draft, I'll probably get a video out for each one of those every now and then. So until next time, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you then.